Science fans, today we're diving into the cell membrane, the gatekeeper of the cell. Like your front door, it protects and controls entry and exit. It's a dynamic structure regulating what goes in and out. Think of it as a busy border crossing for molecules. It ensures the cell's survival by controlling nutrients and keeping harmful substances out. So what exactly is this amazing cell membrane made of? The answer might surprise you. It's mostly fat. But don't worry, this is the good kind of fat, known as phospholipids. These clever molecules are the building blocks of the cell membrane, forming a double layer called the lipid bilayer. Imagine a sandwich with two slices of bread and some filling in between. The bread slices represent the hydrophilic or water-loving heads of the phospholipids, while the filling represents their hydrophobic or water-fearing tails. These tails face inward, away from the watery environments inside and outside the cell, creating a stable barrier. This unique arrangement of phospholipids is what gives the cell membrane its flexibility and fluidity. It's like a sea of fat molecules that are constantly moving and shifting, allowing the membrane to adapt to changing conditions. This dynamic structure is crucial for the cell to function properly and interact with its surroundings. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The cell membrane isn't just a passive barrier, it's selectively permeable, meaning it acts like a bouncer at a club, only allowing certain molecules to pass through while keeping others out. This selective permeability is essential for maintaining the cell's internal balance and ensuring its survival. Small, uncharged molecules like oxygen and carbon dioxide can sneak through the lipid bilayer relatively easily. However, larger molecules like glucose and charged ions like sodium need a little help, which is where specialized proteins come into play. This selective entry and exit of substances are crucial for a variety of cellular processes, including nutrient uptake, waste removal, and communication with other cells. Without this carefully regulated permeability, the cell would quickly succumb to the chaos of the outside world. How do molecules cross the cell membrane? Small, non-polar molecules like oxygen and carbon dioxide diffuse across the lipid bilayer. This simple diffusion doesn't require energy. Larger or charged molecules need transport proteins. These proteins act as channels or carriers. Some work passively, moving molecules down their gradient. Others actively pump molecules against the gradient using ATP. Section 5, membrane proteins, the gatekeepers of the cell. We've already mentioned how important proteins are for the cell membrane's function, but let's dive a little deeper into the world of these molecular gatekeepers. Membrane proteins are like specialized tools embedded within the lipid bilayer, each with its own unique shape and function. They play crucial roles in various cellular processes, including transport, signaling, and cell-to-cell communication. One major type of membrane protein is integral proteins, which are firmly embedded within the lipid bilayer, spanning the entire membrane. These proteins often act as channels or carriers for transporting molecules across the membrane, like those busy transport proteins we discussed earlier. Another type is peripheral proteins, which are loosely attached to the surface of the membrane, either on the inside or outside. These proteins often act as receptors, binding to specific molecules like hormones and relaying signals from the outside world to the inside of the cell. They can also play a role in cell signaling, helping cells communicate with each other.